Welcome everybody to another video, and today's topic is regarding Cinco de Mayo. If you celebrate Cinco de Mayo, you might be in for a big surprise today because as the video says, Cinco de Mayo is not a Mexican holiday. So some of you might be thinking, how is that possible? I've been celebrating Cinco de Mayo my whole life, and I wave my Mexican flag and whatnot, right? So I'm going to give you a little history lesson. This will be a very quick video as to why it is not a Mexican holiday, right? It is tied to Mexican people, but it is not a Mexican holiday, right? So a little history lesson, like I said, to give you more information on why it's not a Mexican holiday. So the first celebration of Cinco de Mayo was actually celebrated a little bit after the Battle of Puebla, not in Mexico, but here in the United States, more specifically in the Southwest, if you want to be even more specific, in California. So reason why Mexican Americans who had just become Mexican Americans, or right after the conquest of the Southwest by the United States, some folks became American citizens, right? They took on the American citizen title. So they felt this pride to be American. But more importantly, it wasn't so much that. It was the fact that, again, what was going on in Mexico and what was going on during the same time in the United States was a civil war. So the Union had been losing so many battles for so many days that they felt hopeless, right? So when these mestizo and native indigenous people beat the French in this battle, they felt a little bit of hope for their people. And the Confederates were encroaching into California. They had already set a base in Arizona and New Mexico, which you already had raza in that area, right? So they felt like this was a battle that was very, very crucial for them. It was very, very important for them to win. And that is the first time they were able to celebrate Cinco de Mayo. Again, it was celebrated by Mexican Americans, not Mexicans, right? Well, I mean, they were Mexicans. Some of them were, again, had become American citizens. And some of them were ones who were born in the Southwest after the area had been conquered by the United States. Okay. And again, this was a celebration against what these Mexican Americans believed was against white supremacy, against slavery, against the privileged classes in both the United States and in Mexico. They saw themselves as, okay, we're, finally something for us that we can celebrate, right? And again, when they were doing this, what people don't know is that they were actually waving both flags, right? So for those of you who hate my flag and say that's an abomination, or why do you have a combination of these two flags, the first Mexican Americans who celebrated Cinco de Mayo did the same thing, right? They sang the both national anthems for both countries, and they felt this great sense of pride in not just being Mexican, but also being a U.S. citizen. Again, this is a quick history lesson. If y'all don't believe me, I'm going to give you the links in the description section so you can read. There's a whole book on this, right? So there's a ton of research that has been done on this specific thing. And again, the Mexican Americans believe that this battle was crucial in regards to stopping the encroachment of the Confederacy, and they feared that if the Confederates won and the French won, that they would be put back into slavery. And of course, Mexico had abolished slavery way before the United States. About I think it was about 40 years or 30 years before this whole region. But anywho, again, this was just a quick fact that I wanted y'all to share. I wanted to share with y'all regarding Cinco de Mayo as you celebrate Cinco de Mayo today. And think about that, right? Especially those who don't identify with American citizen or U.S. citizen or my flag in the back. Think about that for a second. The first Mexican Americans who were here as Californios and in other parts of the Southwest were very proud of that, right? And of course, the holiday changed over the years. In the 30s, obviously we had more immigration from Mexico, so you had more Mexican immigrants. You had the revolution that had just passed. So as people began to celebrate the holiday, they added more elements to it. and made it their own thing, right? In the 40s and during World War II, it was also a sign of patriotism for the United States, right? Again, you have to understand that before the Chicano movement, a lot of Mexican Americans or Latinos in general were trying to assimilate into U.S. culture. Obviously, for the most part, they were not accepted, but they still attempted to do that. And by the 60s, it became a symbol of Chicano power and the Chicano movement. So from there, it took a different turn. And obviously, in the 80s and up, it was commercialized, and now we have Cinco de Mayo, as some people call it, right? And use stereotypes to celebrate this holiday. But on that note, I just wanted to share that today on Cinco de Mayo, whatever you're doing. Again, the links will be in the description section. If you don't believe what I'm talking about, before you put all those angry comments in the section, read the book and read the article that I'm going to post. On that note, this is Flo, Marraza Stan. Take a stand to understand. Peace out, gente.
Bringing back Muhammad's Gandhi, resurrected. Flow into his spot, body for the same cause. We expose bigotry, saying fuck these laws. Free speech, a true revolution. Going back to basics, like the Constitution. Let me slow it down so you can comprehend. No one is illegal on this continent. SB 1070 is trying to tell me that I don't belong here. Ruben will agree. Listen, lady, I'm more than an MC, college graduate with a history degree. Open up your book.